Hello everyone and now welcome to a 2v2 matchup, this game taking place here on Turtle Rock. Alright, it is going to be red versus blue, or actually red versus teal in this matchup, as we have a red night elf and a red human player going under the name King and Almee, going up against SDmK and, well, SDmK and Quasi. Happy July 4th and 5th. Well, thank you very much for all of you guys out there for the well wishes. Enjoying my day off, sleeping in a little bit, not having to wake up at 5:40 in the morning and start getting ready for work is just an absolute blast as we are getting things underway. I guess, well, not technically getting ready for work, as I get ready for casting first, and then I get ready for work around 7. So being able to sleep in with not as much pressure, even though I didn't get to sleep in that much, is still absolutely great. Hey, PJ Nom Nom Nom, thank you for tuning in with me today as things are getting underway in this 2v2. Thank you for the sub. All right, I don't even feel like I earned that sub yet. Just my very first game casting this morning, as we're looking at a night elf and undead going up against a night elf and a human. All right, 1v1 matchup already underway, and let's see where things are going to be going. Archmage coming out from the Altar of Kings. Meanwhile, Altar of Elders training up a Keeper of the Grove. So it is going to be intelligence-based hero from the Night Elf Human. Meanwhile, Death Knight being trained by Quai. Quai opening up with Death Knight, and it looks like it will be Crypt Fiends alongside, well, what is coming off over here? It is going to be a Keeper of the Grove. Keeper of the Grove and some archers, perhaps. So a little bit of ranged units. We'll have to keep a close eye on, well, how all of this is going to go down as the Keeper of the Grove makes its way forward. Going to pick up a Mantle of Intelligence. Archmage is now out onto the battlefield for the other side off over here. All right, positioning still a little bit confusing. So Night Elf is both on what I can call the north side, meanwhile human versus undead on the south side. On here on Turtle Rock, Keeper of the Grove looking to get some easy kills, perhaps try to shut down some ghouls here. But the Death Knight will be out here in just a moment, and the Death Knight, well, can easily just get damage onto the Keeper of the Grove while saving his one ghoul here. A little bit of damage coming back across. There's an entangle onto the Keeper of the Grove now, and the Keeper of the Grove is actually going to be in a little bit of trouble here, trying to get away. However, the Wisp actually didn't do the path blocking that I expected it to, as we see another entangle now go down. All right, 2 entangles and Death Coil to force a Scroll of Town portal back home, all the way back off to the north. He is going to perhaps be able to regenerate some hit points, but he also did cast some entangles, thereby limiting the amount of, well, using up some of that mana as well. Coming back through, Crypt Fiends, well, already 3 Crypt Fiends out for the undead here. Going to be able to easily clear out this creep camp, but human already doing a great job going after this gargantuan sea turtle creep camp as well. Archmage is going to be at solidly at level 2, maybe even level 3 here. After a detonation, removing that water elemental, getting in a little bit of damage. There you are, now at level 3 with a potion of invulnerability. It does not look like the peasants are going to be trying to train up or build up, excuse me, an expansion here, as the Archmage now pushing at level 3, going to be able to, well, drop level 2 water elementals, going up against a level 1 Death Knight here. So a level 3 Archmage, a level 1 Keeper of the Grove, already right out of the gate. Very, very strong damage coming across here, as the Death Knight will be forced to use, well, Death Quills to try and keep these units alive. That Crypt Fiend didn't need that last entangle. A little bit of a waste on mana here, as the Archmage still provides a little bit of mana through Brilliance Aura. Meanwhile, low hit point Crypt Fiend in the back trying to retreat away. Keeper of the Grove and the Huntresses are doing a little bit of a dance back and forth, as the Archmage inside the base shuts down a second Crypt Fiend as well. Acolyte's going to be pressured here, as a water elemental, no, not going to be holding the door, but just dropping 2 water elementals into this position, making it difficult, as Quai is now not going to be able to mine at full saturation for quite some time. Archmage uses the potion of invulnerability, prolonging this attack for another 15 seconds, as more acolytes could get taken down. If 2 or more acolytes get taken out, the amount of gold lost is significant during this time. But Quai is doing a great job trying to make sure that the acolytes are not getting taken down too frequently. Two of the acolytes are now down. Crypt Fiends, well, able to push back the Archmage away once more as a couple of low hit point footmen. Glad to see the Archmage called him to return home. Archmage. All right, Archmage. Or Archmage or Archmage. Anyways, Archmage now making, or Archmage making its way back off to the north here. AM, as well, other casters call it, to clear up any of that confusion. All right, great game so far as things are getting underway. Hello, good to see you live again. Hello, it's great to be back. I don't know how I have like 3 chatters and I only have 1 viewer. Yeah, the viewer count must be wrong. Anyways, coming back around, Keeper of the Grove going to be able to put pressure onto the Scouting Wisp in the center, and there are a lot more Wisps in the center than I would have expected coming in from Almee. Does that mean we're going to be looking at perhaps Ancient of Wars and Ancient Protectors trying to push on through? Well, I have 5. Well, 5 is better than 1 at this point in stage in the game, as the Keeper of the Grove now looking to come back across here. All right, Crypt Fiends, Archer is going to be able to easily pelt down 1 Huntress, taking it down. Footman of Water Elementals now dropping in. There goes an Entangle. Quai going to lose a Crypt Fiend right there, not bothering with the Death Coil. Meanwhile, Quai able to save this low hit point Crypt Fiend, Unholy Aura allowing that Death Knight to retreat, or the units to retreat back. Coming back around, Archmage still sitting at level 3 here, leaving behind a Tome of Agility +2, which represents a decent amount of armor. Meanwhile, it looks like King and Almee is actually being quite a bit greedy, trying to go after this giant gargantuan sea turtle creep camp right near his opponents. Meanwhile, Death Knight and the Crypt Fiends don't feel ready to engage just quite yet. Panda now going to be coming across. Gargantuan sea turtle and going to end up getting taken down. There's the Death Coil. Who's going to get the last bit of experience? And it looks like, well, the Death Knight did not get the item. Who got the item? Oh, the item was actually dropped onto the ground for a second there. If no one was able to pick it up, Brewmaster getting taken down here as the Archmage is now at level 4. Level 3 on the Death Knight. Death Knight now going to end up getting surrounded. Death Coil trying to break free. And will he be able to do exactly that? Holy Light and the Archmage. Holy Light able to take it down right there. Level 3 Death Knight falls. And it feels like King and Almee is just going to be able to continue this pressure even further. Keeper of the Grove coming back through here. Well, we're looking at a little bit of Dryad damage once more. Paladin second as opposed to a Mountain King, but that Holy Light pretty much came out of nowhere. And that Holy Light, you may think to yourself, you know what, it's about the same. It is the same in terms of actual damage. But the Paladin's Holy Light is an instantaneous target. It is not a missile projection, and that would have perhaps given more time to respond for the undead. Perhaps using a Scroll of Town Portal, or be able to do something else if he saw that little bolt inbound. Meanwhile, Footmen still do not have defend here. Holy Light Paladin working overtime to try to keep all of these units alive. Priests are going to be coming over as well, but as we all know, Priests have a very difficult time, well, taking any damage away from Crypt Fiends as the Brewmaster falls for the second time. Keeper of the Grove now taken down there as he kind of overexposes himself. And we're still fighting our way through. All right, the Red Army continuing this push now as we're looking at a bunch of towers being placed in as well. Archmage sitting at level 4, Paladin sitting at level 2, and the Huntresses are just pretty much pot committed all into this position and now going to try and hide for a little bit. Meanwhile, Footmen still do not have the Fen, and Quai is just trying to Quai and SDmK are just trying to hold this aggression back. All right, we're looking at multiple towers being constructed. Ancient Protectors are nearly done. 1 is done, 2 more underway, as the peasants in the back here perhaps could be trying to repair or do something else. All right, more attacks underway. Panda now back out onto the battlefield here. Level 1 Breath of Fire coming back across. Paladin still here, and the Archmage is just saying, you know what, I'm bringing the fight to you. What can really be done, as we see a quick cancellation on that Ancient Protector once more. Archmage continuing this battle. Are we going to see repairs on the Scout Tower? No, well, we are not going to just go ahead and let that get canceled as 2 Ancient Protectors. Is that going to be enough to try and fend off this attack? Guard towers are not yet up and running. The Wisp are now coming back around as well. We're looking at more damage coming back through. Paladin sitting at level 2. If that Paladin gets up to level 3, level 2 Holy Light may be a little bit too much. The peasants are not on auto repair as the guard tower looks like it's going to fall. All right, a little bit of a miscue there. Not repairing with those peasants. Having auto repair is just all you need right there. Wisp are being brought over to try and repair as well as the scout tower gets taken down as well. What looked like what would have been a lot of towers now sitting inside the base have now gone to none, as a human was just not ready for all of that piercing damage onto those unarmored towers or light armored towers. Continuing all of this pressure through Archmage. Paladin now trying to push on in once again. We're seeing a beautiful hold so far by Quai and SDmK. There is one Ancient Protector in the back here as well, but many of the Moonwells are now all bone dry as the Paladin could be in trouble. Paladin gets taken down. Paladin falls at level 2, and now the burst heals that are absolutely necessary to prolong this fight are now completely gone. Archmage looking to back away. There is Glaive Thrower is trying to come across, and there goes an entangle onto the Archmage. Archmage gets up to level 5. Will that bonus hit points be a benefit, or will the extra level cause too much time for resurrection? As we're looking at a Cloak of Shadows in play, the Dust of Appearance no longer there. Archmage drops a Water Elemental and is now currently hidden as the Priest is able to heal. All right, more damage coming back on through Archmage, just benefiting from hiding right there. Brilliance Aura, however, not being given to the Priest as it is Shadow Melded. All right, a Dryad starting to use Abolish Magic, but there are now Mortar teams amongst all of these units, causing perhaps a bit more damage and now perhaps being able to take down some of the Dryads from range. All right, a Proxy Mortar team in a beautiful spot, able to get in large amounts of damage on these units as the piercing damage and the Ancient Protectors still chipping away slowly at this army. In the bases, 51 supply, 27 supply only for the Night Elf. Keeper of the Grove not going to be retreating back. Perhaps more units need to be trained up. There is Rifleman, and this seems like just a suicide mission, trying to pressure on into here. Death Knight now trying to put in pressure as well. Crypt Fiends, and then comes the squeeze play from the other side. Treants are now coming online as well as the Archmage down to 420 hit points. Back up to full. Meanwhile, a couple of Huntresses are now trying to retreat back. Teal continuing to push back the Night Elf army. Meanwhile, the human army is still dealing with all of these units here as the Panda sitting at level 2, unable to finish off this Ancient Protector. Ancient Protector down to 48 hit points. Is it finally going to get taken down? It looks like it will. Just needs 1 or 2 more hits. Gets taken down finally as the Brewmaster is still quite a bit low on mana. Mortar team's going to try to make short work of the Ancient Protectors here. Ancient of Lords, Breath of Fire coming back across. Panda still sitting only at level 2. Paladin getting up to level 3. Holy Light could be online. A bunch of peasants just standing around, not doing very much. 55 over 60, low upkeep as the Mortar teams are still shell-shocking those, poor Crypt Fiends along the backside here. Crypt Fiends now battling up against the Riflemen. Meanwhile, off over here, we're looking at the Keeper of the Grove trying to keep that distance away from those Riflemen and that Archmage, as the Keeper of the Grove is dangerously low on hit points. Down to 98 hit points, but still alive temporarily, as the Ancient Protectors still finishing off more of these Moonwells off here. Archmage trying to hold off this attack once more. Keeper of the Grove still alive, and this attack seems very fragile. If the Archmage falls, or the Paladin gets taken down, Paladin and Archmage fall, this attack is just going to completely crumble apart, and then SDmK and Quai should be able to push back through, but this hold is going to be absolutely necessary. Mortar team's about to finish off the Tree of Ages. Tree of Ages down to 244 hit points. It looks like it's going to go down as well, and that may be the last thing that SDmK needed to ensure victory, as this base is now no longer worth saving. All the units are retreating back. 47 over 50 supply. SDmK building Moonwells in the base of Quai here, trying to get a little bit of home field advantage, as the Archmage and the Paladin able to clean up everything else left in this location and has enough peasants left over to even build an expansion of his own if he wants. SDmK about to, lose Ancient of Lore right there. Meanwhile, Gargantuan Sea Turtle getting cleared up. Panda sitting at level 2. Keeper of the Grove sitting at level 4. We are looking at a Crypt Lord sitting at level 1. And a Lich sitting at level 2. So we are looking at a good number of heroes coming in from the Undead. Undead heroes coupled with a Panda and also a Keeper of the Grove. Is that enough to try and push back the other side, or are these just too too large of a battle. Death Knight now trying to push on through, gets off a one quick kill there. Panda only still seeing that level 2. There's a Breath of Fire, but level 3 Panda would have been much more dramatic there. There's a quick impale, more dry Holy Light going to be saving some units as the Crypt Fiends, well, it completely ignore Water Mental for a while. Panda still sitting at level 2, getting close to level 3. Lich sitting at level 2, getting close to level 3. And a sudden power spike if the Panda and the Lich both get up to level 3 as the hero nuke or the nuking potential of all of these units just simply goes through the roof. Are we going to see another Breath of Fire? Paladin falls at level 3. Scroll of Town Portal retreats back. Crypt Fiend here. Where is all of these units going? Undead needs to retreat back. What is going on here? The Crypt Lord is still here. Lich is still here. Units need to retreat back as the Panda is at level 3. Keeper of the Grove is at level 4. Oh, some major setbacks there. That Scroll of Town Portal, but then in order to save the Death Knight, Deathcoil going to save that Crypt Lord in that frontline location, and SDmK is just continuing this pressure forward. Obsidian Statues providing the mana necessary as the Death Knight still trying to figure out how to solve all of these problems. Panda sitting at level 3. Lich could be at level 3 as well now. Yes, Lich is now at level 3 with level 2 Frost Nova. Level 2 Frost Nova, level 2 Breath of Fire, level 2 Death Coil, and level 1 Impale. That sounds like a lot of spell damage across an army that could add up extremely quickly. Coming back through, well, it looks as though we are going to be doing a little bit more creeping during this time, perhaps trying to pick up a little bit more powerful items. Wow, the Shockwave actually erased the picture of the burrowed Crypt Fiend. Burrowed Crypt Fiend pops back up now. As we're looking at the Rune of Healing used right there, Rune of Healing used in time to save that Crypt Fiend as the one Destroyer now trying to pick back up Death Coil onto the Destroyer. Death Knight sitting at level 5, purposely hanging back in this battle. Keeper of the Grove doing the same exact thing as the Brewmaster now also has Endurance Aura to move a little bit faster across the map. Army battles, we're looking at 40 over 50 supply here. We're looking at 57 over 66. Meanwhile, 55 over 60 and 23 over 20. SDmK does have a little bit here as the Death Knight now just ventures into the human base. The human base completely wide open right now. Was not expecting this. No guard towers, no nothing. And we may see a Scroll of Town Portal to try and retreat back. No, Archmage does have a Scroll of Town Portal. Keeper of the Grove is now trying to walk back on over theirs, but this could be a turn of events, completely disrupting the entire human economy as a Scroll of Town Portal finally being used. All right, Death Knight trying to retreat back out here. In comes all of the units. They're going to be trying to, teleport back out, and they do exactly that. Tree of Life being placed out by SDmK. SDmK and QuaiX just trying to reestablish something. However, Flying Machines will quickly scout out this location and, shut it down with the help of some ground units in just a bit. Panda off into the middle portion right here. There's a little bit of slow poison, no follow-up Breath of Fire or anything of that sort. That Breath of Fire damage does add up extremely quickly, though, as the armies are going to get ready to engage. There's that Breath of Fire, and Archmage is sitting at level 6, does have Mass Teleport, but does Mass Teleport mean as much in a 2v2 battle? As we see the Paladin get quickly impaled, Frost Nova, Potion Divine Shield quickly being used there once more as the Panda gets off another Breath of Fire. Units are now trying to retreat back. This army is going to get flanked here if they're not careful, as the Panda now in a little bit of trouble. Panda is now completely surrounded. Is he going to be able to breathe his way out of this situation? Yes, he does. He's able to get a good Breath of Fire off and then follow up that Breath of Fire with a Staff of Preservation as a couple of Huntresses are taken down. Meanwhile, Webb taking down the Flying Machine. And this may be a game of never give up, never surrender, as the Panda now back online. All right, this flank here is just causing a bit of problems as the army is unsure of whether to engage against the undead here or try to engage against this smaller Night Elf army that still has crazy high damage output between the Keeper of the Grove and that Panda. Units are now trying to repeat back. The Obsidian Statues were not close enough to the Panda and the Keeper of the Grove to keep their mana high as we look at a big impale coming across the center here. All right, it's time for Undead and Night Elf to regroup once more if they're trying to push back this attack. Abominations are coming on over as well, and we're going to be going into this engagement. So far, Obsidian Statues, Destroyers off overhead. Abominations, sorry for hitting the mic. Abominations looking to be in that front line location as the mortar teams are just shell-shocking those units from the side here. All right, Dryads could have a little bit of problems. Panda wants to come in from the back here. There's some more abolished magic again, as the units do really need to regroup. Cryptlord falls at level 3 as the Lich and the Death Knight now trying to retreat back once more. More Huntresses coming across in as well. And the Panda and the Keeper of the Grove finally able to rejoin on this fight here together. Panda looking to perhaps get off a good breath of fire across multiple units. There it goes. Multiple Huntresses are hit. Lich gets up to level 4. Panda still needs a little bit more mana, waiting for the Obsidian Statues to do their things, as we're seeing more denials as the Lich is perhaps going to be able to get in more damage. Keeper of the Grove falls at level 4. Panda now sitting at level 4 as well. Now going to perhaps continue to push on with this pressure. Mortar teams, Priest in the back here. This game is just absolutely going crazy as the Panda trying to push on through again, as we see another Frost Nova go down. Archmage, Holy Light trying to stay alive. Multiple heroes, so much focus fire as the Lich does get the final shot off with that Orb of Corruption, followed by that Keeper of the Grove. Archmage falls at level 6, giving Death Knight to level 6, and does the Death Knight Anime Dead? If it has Anime Dead, there's plenty of corpses here to completely turn the tide of this battle, as the remaining units are still way through. Obsidian Statues, this was the Night Elf Undead regrouping that was needed, and there you have it. All of the heroes have fallen. Quai and SDmK able to hold on, even though the entire Night Elf base was absolutely destroyed. Beautiful battle right there, and that fight on Turtle Rock, where even though Quai and SDmK had a smaller army, they had a good semicircle around the human and the Night Elf army. That's just what ended up happening. And when you are surrounded, when you are flanked on multiple sides, you are exposed more, and you are essentially taking more damage, just because more units are able to engage against you at the same time. That's what happened there. After they were able to whittle away the forces a little, Quai, SDmK working together, regrouping themselves, and by regrouping, they were able to get mana into the Keeper of the Grove and that Panda, that Breath of Fire, adding up over time to deal so much damage in this war of attrition. A great game right there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Study the replay, and it may help your 2v2 teamwork as well.